Hey, what's going on, guys? Good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. I am the one and only, at least as far as science is aware, Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live from a heretofore undisclosed location somewhere located deep in the swamps of Florida. Hello, Damian, Mark Morrison, Elvin Maid, in Michael Dale, Michael Mertig, Orbital Air. Glad you're all here, and anyone else trailing in. We've got kind of a fun show for you this evening, guys. We're gonna talk about some stuff, but the first thing that I want to say, the first thing that I want to get out of the way is, as of right now, because there's a big caveat here, as of right now, we have 6,003 subscribers on the channel. 6,003. It seems like just yesterday. It really just seems like not real long ago that I was wondering when I would break 1,000. And now we're at 6,003. For those of you playing along at home, that is 3,997 away from 10,000, which is a pretty monumental number. And the reason it's a pretty monumental number is because I have said, when I reach 10,000 subscribers on this here channel, I will launch, I will put in motion the creation of an in real life convention. Great underground overland gaming convention. We'll just keep guac. It'll be easier to make merch that way. So we are, I don't know how far away from it. I mean, maybe a year, maybe 5 years, maybe never. I don't know. But let's focus on what's right in front of us today. And that is that that I have hit 6,003 subscribers. Now, I said there's a caveat on that, and it's not that there's some funny stuff like, but I know this many don't count or something like that. There is no guilt associated with what I'm about to say. So I'm just gonna lay this out. I get it. People might not like what I do. They might not like the channel. They might look at this and go, I gave him a sub because he seemed like a decent guy, but honestly, I'm just not into whatever he's on about. Or, well, he's kind of, he sort of said these things and I don't like that. So I'm going to unsubscribe. And it seems to happen these days a lot. Like, I'll check the sub count and, I'm up 10. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, at a net of -1. I get it. You guys don't like you guys don't necessarily like my content. Not you guys. I know you guys like the content, but people may not necessarily like the content, and they take that subscribe back. I'm not here to shame or blame or anything like that. It just happens. So it could be that by this time tomorrow, 5 people have said, nah, and we're back under 6,000 again. But for right now, I'm going to savor the moment. 6,003 is pretty neat. It's pretty neat. And I couldn't have done it without you guys. I could not have done it without you guys. Emmy has been out there beating the bushes. telling people to subscribe. I know Kanek got a whole bunch of her gaming group to subscribe, and I know everybody out there. Hello, the Dave. I know everybody out there. You know, you'd say, "Hey, watch this guy. Check this guy out. He's got a good show," and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't do it without you guys. I really couldn't, but I would do it even if there was just one of you. If there was one person subscribed to my channel and one person said, "Dude, I watch your streams. Like, I'm here in the live chat. It's just you and me." Maybe I wouldn't have such an elaborate studio setup as I do now, but I would do it. I would do it. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, the Dave. But it's the little things. It is the little things. It's the keep going, Bill. You're awesome. Hell yeah, I'll subscribe. I'll tell my friends. It's stuff like that that really puts a smile on my face. And I thank you guys a lot for that. So we've got a pretty good week coming up, guys. I'm going to be doing a book review this week, which should be fun because I'm going to have to edit it because I'm taking out all the ums and ahs and long pauses. Harmony Ginger, thank you so much. Thank you. Jorge, we're doing great. I don't know how we're celebrating, Michael. I don't. Something that I'm stopping, and look, I'm not getting into the thank you, Lightmane. Thank you very much. By the way, everyone, Harmony Ginger and Lightmane both have YouTube channels, and you guys should check them out. Damien, I saw your question about mind flayers. I'm going to come back to you in just a minute on that. But yeah, you guys should check out Lightmane, and you should check out Harmony Ginger. Harmony has been on my show a couple of times now. I'm going to be on her show in a week or so ish, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Jorge. But guys, that speaks to something larger. Before I forget about it, a rising tide lifts all boats. Okay, you know, I'll show up on T-Shirted show. I think I've invited T-Shirted on this show. If I haven't, hit me up. You can come on. You know, Harmony. I do stuff with Dungeon Measure. I try to include as many people as possible, and I know people try to include me because this isn't like TV in the 1970s where it's like I can watch NBC, ABC, or CBS tonight. You know, I can watch Hawaii Five-0, Super Train, or Dallas. You know, and that's it. That's my choice. All of this stuff stays up, and you can watch it. So you missed my live stream. Catch it afterwards. It's just that simple. Falcon Crest. There you go. It's just that simple. We should all stick together, guys. All right. We don't have a big corporation backing us. All right. Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast are not in touch with me. That is to say, I haven't seen the Pinkertons lately. That's right, Emmy. Absolutely right. So, at the end of it all, this isn't just success for me. It's success for everyone. If I have a louder voice because of this, then good, because I will shout out the names of great creators out there. So Saturday, I had Harmony on. I said I wasn't going to stream on Saturday, and I did it anyway, and you magnificent bastards came out and watched. Thank you so much. Friday, of course, we did Gamma World. Thursday, Dave McLeod was here and we talked about Project Sunflower. Wednesday, Kyle was here. Tuesday, we played AD&D, and Monday, we just kind of kicked things off. So we have a great week in front of us. Tomorrow we're playing AD&D. Wednesday, Kyle is here. Thursday, something. Friday, we're going to be playing Camel World. So we're gonna have we're gonna have an awesome time. I'm gonna put a pin in that, James. I'm gonna come back to it. So let's see what else is happening. 6,000. You know what? Let's do an unboxing. I did this last week. Is it Tripod Cam, I hope? It is Tripod Cam. Okay, so last week I opened the first of these. Well, not really the first one that I've done. It's the third one that I've done. But these are blind draw boxes of these vinyl AD&D Dungeon Masters, AD&D Monster Manual monsters, done by a company called Kid Robot. This is not WizKids. And as you can see here, I've got a second one that I haven't opened. I have my +1 Vorpal merch opening knife. Can you get us, Sean? Yes. I will give that to you. I won't even ask for a super. I'm that full of joie de vivre tonight. I won't even ask for a super. 6,000 meters, helmsman. Range to target, 1 ping only. All right, so let's go. Let's open it up and see what we got. Last week, by the way, we got the carrion crawler. Which was pretty cool. A mini of Sean Connery in that movie, in that Disney movie. I know the one you're talking about. I can't remember the title all of a sudden. Okay, it's cut open. What are we going to get? What are we going to get? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. 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 Okay, we got it. Ooh, it's small. This is small. Ooh, this is a tiny guy. See, this one felt very lightweight last week, so I didn't open it because I wanted the big one. What could it be? Oh, what is that? Feeling appendages and stuff. It's a rot grub. No, the beholder would be awesome. Is it Derby O'Gill and the Little People? Is that it, Jorge? Okay. I got my fingers on it. What do we have? Oh, I think I know what this is going to be. Yeah, I know what this is. It's an Otyug. It is an Otyug. Yes. The dreadful, horrible. I got the dungeon cleanup crew. I got the carrion crawler and the Otyug. And this guy is like small enough to sit in Dwarven Forge. I will use him. This is like table use right here. Hey, Michael Dale, thank you so much for the super. Thank you so much for the super, Michael Dale. I really appreciate that. We're going to pin that. Let's go back to that. So very neat. Do you guys want me to do like more of the Kid Robots for the Monday miniature? Let me know. Let me know. They ain't cheap. I'm going to tell you that much. And I don't see Kid Robot coming after me. Well, Elvin said her magic sucks. It doesn't look like an elf. Maybe it ate an elf. Maybe there's an elf inside, a little plastic elf jammed inside it there. But there were a couple of questions here. And don't worry, Michael, I'll put your super back up. Damien asked, did Ithalids or Mind Flayers have their sci-fi elements back as far as first edition? Well, first of all, they came in original D&D, not in 1E, but in original D&D. Their extraplanetary origins were added in second edition. But their sci-fi origins come from Gary's reading of various science fictions. They're clearly alien creatures. I think the first definitive time that you can say here is one as a fixed monster that you will run into is actually in Expedition of the Barrier Peaks S3, and this guy is kitted out. He has a grenade, blasters, the works. I am of the mindset that you could probably say in your own Greyhawk canon that they came on that ship, that they showed up on that vessel. So it could be. See, the elder brain, and they reproduce by stuffing a grub into the brain of a victim that then warps and mutates their bodies and all of that. That's all 2E stuff. That's all 2E stuff. What was that in the garbage compactor? Close. That was called the Dianoga. It was kind of similar. It had an eye stalk and a central mouth, but canonically, it had like big flappy wings attached to its body. Big flappy fins, I should say. So I hope that answers your question about the Mind Flayer. Next question coming up, because we have a question. James Seymour, not Jane Seymour, sadly. No offense, James, but if Jane Seymour was going to hang out on my show, I would push you all to the side. I'm just kidding. She's an attractive woman. In a perfect world, what musical groups would I have at Delverfest? This is going to strike you guys as odd. Okay, so I'm going to assume that by in a perfect world, we're talking about an idyll that I can just wave my hand and make stuff happen. So I'm having Led Zeppelin, probably Sabbath, definitely some jazz groups because Gary liked jazz. I would also dare say that I would invite Violent Femmes. They recorded their first album and possibly their second in Lake Geneva in 1980. They were at the crux of D&D, and they performed at TSR, like a Game Fest kind of event, or maybe it was one of the Milwaukee located Gen Cons. I can't remember, but Violent Femmes did perform there. So I would add them to the bill. It would be a strange eclectic mix. It would not be stuff that you would be used to. And I would also have lots of local musicians, like folk musicians and so on. Again, we're talking about an idyll here, so I would I might get Gordon Lightfoot to perform there. Just Gordon and his guitar. With Gamma World, you could get a blister in the sun or a well-placed fireball. There should always be a chance of a Mind Flayer dropping a blaster. I like that, Damien. I like it a lot, actually. Yes, but it doesn't say where he probability traveled from. I mean, if you look at the picture of him, he is rocking Let me see if I can find that. I'm gonna see real quick if I can find that picture. It may be actually easier for me to Google. Maybe. Yeah, okay. I was talking about things going down and I was saying, 6,003, 6,003. It's 6,002 now. Somebody unsubscribed. So I apologize if you came on this, if you showed up on the stream. If you showed up on the stream and you're like, screw this guy. Sorry. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this. Open image in a new tab. And we'll just share this real quick. See, there he is, doing his mind flayer most horribleness. So, I mean, come on, that looks like it's just straight off of like an Ace science fiction paperback from the day. So I stick to my idea that the mind flayers showed up on the ship. Not that they were original passengers or anything, but at some point out in deep space, they all probability traveled and got stuck, or they reproduced via spores and this thing let it go. I don't know. And that's fine, Chris. Orbital Air says, oof, who unsubbed? I don't know. And even if I knew, I wouldn't say. Because again, maybe my content isn't for you. Maybe, you sit here and you watch a stream for a little bit and, you're like, I don't know why I subscribe to this guy. He's not whatever. So, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Not going to lose any sleep over it. Yeah, so the Githyanki and the Githzerai came in the Fiend Folio, and that is where Charlie Strauss, I'm not sure how I think it's Strauss, when he created those two races, he sort of invented this cosmology that they were from a planet where like the sun had been turned dark somehow. It was like an anti-star, and there were two enslaved races, the Githyanki and the Githzerai. The Githzerai broke away from the Mind Flayer's control. The Githyanki eventually did too, but they are two very distinct societies. The Githzerai, because of their chaotic neutral nature, will occasionally side with the Mind Flayers. The Githyanki never will, but the Githyanki are by nature evil. Engine Joe, how are you? Hello. Engine Joe, while I've got you here, please do please do me the favor of messaging me your mailing info. I owe you 3 owl bears. So please send that to me. Looks like a VHS cardboard stand from the 90s. Yeah. The Darth Vader. Okay, so this, which I just repaired it. You guys can't really see it that well, but I know it's there. There was a dent in it for the longest time. So in 92, which would be 77, 25th anniversary of Star Wars, would that be? Let me see. 77 to 87 is 10 years, 87 to 97. No, okay, so it wouldn't be. But anyway, in 92 or 93, the Star Wars trilogy was released unadulterated. No changes at all for the last time. And it was on the heels of the special editions that Lucas was doing with added CGI. You know, all the monsters in Mos Eisley walking around, the scene with Han and Jabba added back in, Scream when Luke threw himself off the gantry in Cloud City, reusing Empire Strikes Back or Jedi footage in The Empire Strikes Back, stuff like that. They changed, they added a bunch of CGI, like when the X-Wings are moving into the Death Star, you know, now they're all CGI and kind of drifting around, you know. Yeah, they didn't have the Praxis wave on the Death Star explosion. So at the store that I worked at, the mall store, we didn't really have the floor space for stuff like this. And we got one of these in, and I was over the moon. And my manager, Todd, had actually ordered it for himself. But when I saw the package, I like went full ham. And he was like, I got it for me, but you can have it. I think you'd be a lot happier with it. And I've had it ever since. So that's that. You're absolutely right, Chris. And Lucas came out recently and said there are no existing prints of the originals left, which I think is a lie. I think what he means is they're under lock and key and no one's ever going to see them again. But I wouldn't think that they've destroyed them or that they've been let to be destroyed. Let's see. There was a comment. Oh, James Seymour says, who is on my dream guest? I've had most of my dream guest list here, if I'm being honest with you. You know, I got to interview Gary. I've interviewed Heidi. I've talked briefly on Gary's birthday last year. I talked to Luke. Heidi invited Luke on. I'd like to have Ernie on. Well, I guess you guys are asking who I would like to have on. I would like to have interviewed Dave Arneson. I bitterly regret not reaching out to and doing an interview with the late Dave Sutherland. Dave Trampier. Who else? I would love to get Bill Willingham on the show. Clyde Caldwell. Gosh, who else? The late Jim Rosloff. I was working on Jim, and in between spates of mailing, he passed away. To talk to him on the phone, record the interview, transcribe it, and put it up on my website as text. But I would have that recording to save with you, to share with you guys. Dave Cook. I wish I could have talked to him. Kennick, I interviewed James 4 times. Yes, I would love to have Larry Elmore on. I would love to have Larry Elmore on. So there are many, 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 many folks who've passed. Many Gene Wells. My gosh, I wish I'd talked to Gene Wells. I talked to Len in forum posts in private messages. I never spoke to him by voice. Michael Moorcock is still kicking around. I don't know what he and I would really have to discuss. Our views on fantasy and writing and everything else are very divergent. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people that I would have loved to have talked about a lot of stuff, but those are just a few. I've got Sandy Peterson coming on in a couple of weeks. Sandy Call of Cthulhu Peterson, Sandy Doom Peterson, Sandy Age of Empires 2 Peterson, Sandy Quake Peterson is going to be on here. I have spoken to Errol Otis. Errol has been on the show. We had Errol on last June or July. It seems like not that long ago, but so that is my that's just a few, you know, that's just a few folks that I would like to have on the show. So stop. Yes, that's right. Errol was on. Yeah, I'm not gonna pester him for that, but Doom Sword, bring in the pain. A good-sized crowd who don't deserve such a thing, who don't deserve stakes. That's right. Yes, we've had Errol on. The Errol Otis interview was great. One of my favorite interviews. Now, look, I have loved all of the interviews I've had. One of them was a little, anyway. But I have enjoyed all of the interviews that I've done, going all the way back to having gotten to talk to Gary. But I got to tell you guys something. Dave LaForce, Diesel LaForce, was an absolute blast. We must have gone for over 3 hours, and yes, there were a lot of bugs in the technical bugs that cropped up. Like, he'd drop off and we'd have to wait for him to resync and stuff like that. I loved talking to Dave LaForce. That was such an interview. Who are the current best living fantasy authors? I don't know. See, I'm terrible like that because I don't read new fantasy that much. I'll tell you who I love, though. I said that much, not at all. We just had this guy on not too long ago. He's a great dude, a solid dude. I like him a lot. And that is Sky Hernstrom. You know what? Let me do this. Sky Hernstrom, Thune's Vision, Eye of Sonu. Love Sky's work. It's good stuff. It is good pulp fiction, and I really like it. So, why, look, there's even a quote from Jeff Rowe Johnson on the back cover here. This collection is gold, like the best Robert E. Howard, Jack Vance, and Fritz Leiber stories blended together into something completely new. So yeah, I recommend this guy. And of course, putting things back on my shelf, we all know what a comedy this can be. Always fun. I'll say this: Fritz Leiber, I think, was still alive when I bought the Lankmar books. Good night, Emmy. Be well. So I hope that answers your question about who would be on my dream guest list. I appreciate it. Miss Bella Games. Emmy just left. Do you want to take her chair? Right over here. Yes, Memorial Day. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. So, what other questions do you guys have for me? I feel like a deep dive is probably coming up soon. We are going to have to look at L3. We looked at L1, we looked at L2. It's time to look at the flawed gem that was L3. And I say flawed gem, and I've mentioned this before, but I'm gonna kind of go into it now. I don't have a PDF of it, so I can't get this fired up yet. But L3, so here's a story behind L3. When Wizards of the Coast bought TSR and started going through their office stuff, it was just before the 25th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. We're talking about 25 years ago. They said, we're gonna I'm gonna pin that mark and come back to it. We're gonna do something special. So they released this, the collector's edition, the TSR Silver Anniversary set. I'll bring that up on the tripod cam. They released this. And inside of this, there are a bunch of things. There's an abbreviated history of TSR. There's a copy of Keep on the Borderlands. There's a copy of I6. There's a copy of the Holmes Basic Rules. There's enough stuff in here to play D&D with if you wanted to spend $50 at the time on a box set. There's G1, G2, and G3, and S2. But also, there was this. Deep Dwarven Delve. The last first edition AD&D adventure to ever be produced. Well, the last official TSR first edition AD&D adventure to ever be produced. Let's say it like that. Well, here's the brief genesis of this module. And it goes a little something like this. Wizards of the Coast found the incomplete manuscript and notes for that module kicking around. They reached out to Len Kafka and said, hey, do you want to finish this for the Silver Anniversary edition box set for Dungeons and Dragons? Len said, yes, that would sound good. So he wrote it, he finished it, and then FedExed it to them. Whoever was in charge of this lost Len's manuscript. And they reached out to Len and said, hey, we lost the manuscript. So we're just going to publish your unfinished manuscript. And he said, I can redo it. And they said, no, that's okay. We're just going to republish this. So if you have that set, or if you buy the PDF, because the PDF is available, you can get it print on demand even. Neither you nor I have the actual real Deep Dwarven Delve. And now that Len's passed away, odds are no one will ever have the real Deep Dwarven Delve. So let's hear it for stupidity from Wizards of the Coast. Luther asked, did I ever do a deep dive of Vault of the Drow? Yes, I did. We did an entire deep dive. We did G123, D123, and Q1. We did the entire Against the Giants, Descent into the Depths, Vault of the Drow, Queen of the Demon Web Pits run. We did. I don't remember exactly when, but I know we did it. And I will say now, as I said then, Against the Giants, entailing all 7 modules when I call it Against the Giants. Hey, TXG. Yes, they have misspelled it. But that is basically your master's exam as a dungeon master. If you can put those modules together and run them well, and you get it, then you are you're one hell of a DM. Yes, we did it. We did a deep dive of arguably one of my favorite modules, S4, Lost Caverns of Sojkonth. Absolutely love it. Every time I say L1, L2, L3, or L4, you think of Lagrange points. Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about that shack outside Lagrange. Just let me know if you want to go to that home out on the range. Anyway, is 25 years the reverse half-life of D&D? Yeah, I think it is. Nobody expects ZZ Top. That's the good part. That's the cool part. But anyway, yeah, so we've done deep dives on so many D&D modules around here. Gosh, let's see. The entire S series, the A series, Keep on the Borderlands, the Lost City. We did a deep dive on the Lost City, Dark Tower, C1 and C2. We had an Alan Hammock not in studio, like sitting here. How awesome would that have been? Have I played Fallout 4 since the next gen update drop? I don't know. When did the next gen update drop? I haven't played it in a couple of weeks, but yeah, I do play Fallout 4 from time to time. I love stomping around in power armor, you know? I mean, I haven't done the main quest, but I've gone through so many of the other parts of the game. It's like, do Some Tracy Hickman, Pharaoh, Oasis, the White Palm, Lost Tim Marte. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Is there a shack outside LaGrange, Jimmy Invictus? Do they got a lot of nice girls there? How? When I come up with my modules, do I or have I created any monster characters just for that module? Sometimes I'll create a new monster. It's rare. I'm not good at it. Characters, yeah. I mean, if I'm working on if I'm working on a tournament module, a module that I was going to run at a convention, which I don't do anymore, so I guess I shouldn't say, oh well. Then I would say, yeah, I've had pre-gen characters in my modules before. As a knight, would I be a sharp dressed man? As a cavalier, yes. That came up on Twitter today, by the way. Someone was asking in RPG Twitter about the cavalier, and I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I have not done a deep dive on Isle of the Ape. I have not done that. But that is correct, Jorge. My credits in Osric are for some monsters. They were for converting sphinxes, snakes, and spiders from AD&D to Osric. That is the work that I did in Osric. Because it's not the player's responsibility to worry about that, TXG. Combat and so on is the purview of the dungeon master. Anyway, no, I haven't done a deep dive. Anyway, this question came up in RPG Twitter about the Cavalier and what, would you use the Cavalier as written? And overwhelmingly people said, oh, I'd use the Cavalier as written. I would not use the Cavalier as written. And I have said this time and again, and I feel very strongly about this. The Paladin should not be a subclass of Cavalier at all, ever. Cavaliers are egotistical, vainglorious, self-centered warriors who practically require a subservient underneath them. Their armor must be the thinnest. Just the list of things that are vice what a paladin is and does goes on and on. Keep the Cavalier class its own thing, or make it a fellow subclass of fighter. Do not organize the Paladin under it. And also Cavaliers can be like chaotic. Why would an order of Paladins willingly exist under the Cavaliers? Negative. Am I starting to get nervous? Yes, but I don't think it's going to happen. I still don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I've only grown 3,000 in the last 18 months. Maybe about 4,000 in the last 18 months. It's going to be a while. I'm not worried about it. I'm not getting to 10,000 anytime soon. Yes, I was the one who invented the gelatinous cube of napalm, the gelignitus cube. How do I see its ecology? It sops up. It starts out as a normal gelatinous cube. And when it's cleaning up the bodies of fallen adventurers, it absorbs the oil. Adventurers have always got oil, lamps, flasks. But it is a gelatinous cube that has absorbed all that oil into its body. to the point where it could just boom. The Gelignitis cube. You want merchandise? Gramps, you can get right the hell out. Nah, it's we're not going to hit 10,000 fast. Not at all. Not at all. Mark Morrison wants merchandise. I have merchandise. You guys can get merchandise. Let me get you the link and I will share it with you. Let me see if I can find this. That's... Oh, you know, I'm a dunderhead. Ha ha ha! Don't mind me. So here we go. We have merch. This design is made by my buddy Tracy Lesh. Merchandise. There we go. But you can check that out there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Come on. Any second now. Get loaded. There we go. All right. Let's present this. Tracy Lush did an absolutely amazing piece of artwork, guys. If you want a t-shirt, if you want a Delver's Dungeon t-shirt, pint glass, what have you, you could do a lot worse. Tracy made this like to order for me, but we've got this on t-shirts, mugs, all kinds of stuff. I haven't gotten that far, Balthazar, on the Gelignitis gelatinous cube. But anyway, yeah, you can buy a shirt. It is right over there. A Delver's Dungeon doll. Play first edition, kids. But anyway, yeah, check out our merch, please. It's cool stuff. A respectful and peaceful Memorial Day to you, the 80s guy. I won't promise that I won't throw a Gelignitis cube at a party. Kill it with fire. Boom. Yeah, crazy though it is. I have one of those also. Flabby, gullible doofus that can dissolve flesh, the gelatinous rube. I'm just going to say this one, and I'm going to leave the rest to everyone else's imagination. Gelatinous tube. Moving right along. Napalm cube. Well, buy one, Bob. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, the merch deal I have with Tracy on these, it's an even split. It's 50-50. Tracy created the art. I've got it set up. He created the art for me, but Tracy and I split the funds on this. So if you're wondering, hey, who profits from this? Both Tracy and I. Well, do it. Everyone should do it. How about something that enhances the charisma of the tavern girl? You could call it gelatinous. No. Just going to leave that one there. Yeah, like and subscribe. You guys got to do that too. I insist on it. But seriously, if you haven't already, please do click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. Some people say that like that's a thing now, that like if you click subscribe, it automatically does the bell icon. And then other people say, yeah, I subscribed and I never get notifications. And then I went and looked and the bell was clicked off. So I don't, yeah, just make sure both are clicked. Gelatinous that's exactly what that is today. Who profits? The person who buys and wears it, of course. And that's why I know Dungeon Minister has one, right? Just you wear around with the. I would love to see that Telver's Dungeon shirt, but he's got his priest collar on, just above the neck. Oh, is there a SylvieCon? That sounds neat, James. Huh? It matches my last name and everything. Oh, Dungeon Minister, no. Oh, Balthazar, that is awful. I love it. That reminds me in Paranoia from West End Games. At least I think it was West End Games. Yeah. But in Paranoia, there was a hypodermic needle machine gun that doctors could get that inflicted like 20d6 damage, but healed 20d4 damage. Just the absurdity of opening fire on one of your injured friends. Again, on average, you're going to do 60 points of damage, but on average, you're going to do, let me see, 20d6. That's average 3. Yeah, on average, you're going to do 60 points of damage, but you're going to heal them back for 40 points. No, 20 points. Oh, he did gelatinous rube already. So, since I know you've already clicked subscribe, and I know you've already liked the video, tomorrow we will be playing first edition AD&D. Now, if you're new, thank you, Halsey. Thank you very much. Average 3.5. If you are new to the channel, and good Lord, it's 6,002 subscribers. I would imagine some of you guys are new. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say 6,002? I meant 6,004 subscribers. 6,004 subscribers. But if you don't know if you're like, yeah, okay, I guess you play AD&D on live stream and we just sit and watch it and you've got your own like little thing like you're doing like other stream games. No. It's not just entertainment, guys. It's educational. If you have a question about why we play the way any of the rules you see presented, hey, I've only ever played 5th edition. Why does that work that way? You got to just ask a question. And if I don't catch it and answer it, odds are someone in the live stream will be able to answer it because I have the smartest live stream audience of any of them. So you can absolutely positively, if I don't catch your question, somebody in the audience will catch the question and they'll answer it, because I want you to not just to sit and watch, but I want you to know how AD&D is played. So that's what we do on Tuesday. On Wednesday, Kyle is here. What we do, entirely up to Kyle. Last week we did a deep dive on RuneQuest, and that was a lot of fun. Folks seem to enjoy that. Thursday, we'll just have to see what's going on Thursday. Friday, Friday, we play Gamma World. We get together and we play some Gamma World, and it's a lot of fun, and it's like AD&D. Why do I prefer original D&D and first edition AD&D? Tell you why I really feel, or how I really feel. Well, first edition AD&D is where the black magic is. First edition AD&D is like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. They're not perfect. They're kind of copied in swaths and bits and pieces from other sources, but brought together the way they're brought together, it's great. First edition AD&D is the first edition of the Tomb of Horrors, the real Tomb of Horrors, not where save and take damage, but where save or die. Your character will freaking die if they mess up. It's the first edition of all evil all the time drow, with their torture parlors and their drug dens and their cities deep underground and their loathing and hatred for everything that lives above it. It is the AD&D of assassins and thieves, not rogues, of half orcs. Because Gary told us that orcs are fecund, and he sent us looking for the Websters to find out what fecund meant. It is the edition of Dungeons and Dragons that dares you to bite the apple and see eternity. It is where the black magic is and always will be forever. So that is why I love first edition AD&D so much. So much. I hope that answers your question. So, I think that just about wraps us up for tonight, guys. I want to thank big thanks to Michael Dale for that super 6K celebratory super. I appreciate it. And I know that there are people absolutely who their live streams will have 6K people in them. I'm not one of those people. I am but a humble merchant of cool fantasy RPG ideas and ideologies. So I really want to thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Michael asked, what are my top 3 toughest dungeons that I've been the DM? Tomb of Horrors, Lost Caverns, and Keep on the Borderlands. So I'm gonna blitz on out of here, guys. I've got a first edition AD&D game coming tonight. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. I love you all. It's been a lot of fun. Maybe possibly the next time. And you guys let me know if you want me to open up more of those little Funko Pop like guys from Kid Robot, because maybe the next time I open one, we'll get an owl bear. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? It's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course. Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in this little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action fix to dancing fix, just take me to the show.